doctor, but we followed the clues she left behind to help her. So much time has already passed since then, and it seems Sumeru's changing for the better now that Nahita's in charge, right? Paimon just hopes this peace will last a long time, and then Nahita won't have any more new problems to deal with. Yeah, guess you're right. We somehow always find ourselves right in the thick of it. Who knows what will happen next? Come to think of it, maybe it's all because of you. Maybe you're just a magnet for trouble. Huh? Me? Before Paimon ran into you, Paimon never ran into any trouble. At most, when she was super tired, Paimon got caught in some strange whirlpool and sucked out into sea. And even then, you fished Paimon out. Anyway, for Nahita's sake, maybe we should think about heading to our next destination for now.
Ah, look who it is. Running into you in a place like this? I can see you two still love wandering around.
Oh, it's Dia! Since when are we just wandering around? We're usually taking care of some serious business. Even though it may have nothing to do with our journey. But never mind that. What brings you here?
I just finished a commission in the desert for a usual client of mine. Nothing too interesting. Just escorting a shipment of goods. I'm on my way to report back. That's when I saw you two all the way over there, chatting away. What were you two talking? Huh? You serious? Can't say I saw that coming. But you are travelers after all. I guess you'd never stay for too long in one place. Bumping into you like this will become a rarity. I'm starting to feel sad just thinking about it. Hey, how about I gather a few mercs to escort you two? What do you say?
Thanks, but no need. Oh, Paimon had no clue you'd miss us so much. But don't worry, we'll come back to see everyone when we get a chance.
To do to get to Fontaine is cross this stretch of desert. Sure, it won't be anything you can't handle. So, when are you leaving?
Oh, wait a sec. Paimon just remembered there are still a few dishes in Sumeru that Paimon hasn't tried yet. Now, where's that list Paimon made?
I see. Guess you won't be needing a going-away party or anything. It's sad enough to... Oh, now that I think about it, Sumeru wouldn't be what it is today without you. Seems true heroes always prefer leaving quietly.
By the way, should we go say bye to Nahita? Oh, good point. Then there's no need to bother her in the real world.
Then, I guess this is goodbye for now, Traveler in Paimon.
Goodbye, Dia. Bye-bye, Sumeru. After crossing all that sand and water, we finally made it! Oh, this must be Fontaine's... Advanced in Fontaine! Paimon's heard that the industry here is extremely developed, and just seeing the sights as a tourist is nice, but maybe it would be better if we found something to do. What do you think? Good idea! Seeking out the Seven is probably still our best source for information at this point. Yeah, the more we can... So, what do you think the Hydro Archon's like? Will we get along? Nahida said that... To learn about a nation's god, start with the nation's people. There seems to be some locals talking over there. Let's go see if we can join the party.
If you ask me, it's a tragedy how things ended for him. Clearly.
Yeah, I didn't expect that kind of ending for him. I thought he would at least fight on a little longer for his family. I was expecting a sudden plot twist, but it's a pity that it never happened.
Excuse me. Can I help you two?
Hi. We're travelers new to Fontaine, and we had something we wanted to ask, but you...
Play? Oh, no. We're talking about something that really happened. In fact, it's a case...
Really? Like, a real trial? But the way you were talking about it and the words you used just now...
Well, good tales are often based on true stories, aren't they? In what you see, whether something is true or not simply isn't that important. The main thing is whether the story being... Oh, but it looks like you're not from around here. You probably don't know that the Fontaine Court of Justice is called the Opera Epiclese, or more
But,
No worries. And as for your worries about whether the cases are treated with due reverence, we have the absolutely just and honorable Chief Justice Neuvillette, as well as the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, a machine created by the Archon. Between the machine and the Chief Justice, false charges and injustice...
Oratrice? Is it some kind of machine, too? Oh, Paimon's curious. We should check it out if we get the chance. Wait, Paimon almost forgot to ask you our question. Do you...
Oh, that's easy. Just go to the Opera House. Lady Farina practically lives there. You could definitely say it's her biggest passion.
I think what they mean is that they wish... In that case, I'm afraid it's going to be a tad more difficult. You'll have to make an appointment well in advance, and...
Is the Hydro Archon super busy
No. Lady Farina seldom takes an interest with the nation's affairs. The reason it's difficult to make an appointment is simply because she's incredibly popular.
That's right. After all, she is the Archon. Though she may tend to get a little dramatic.
First time Paimon's ever heard of an Archon being described... Wait! Paimon gets it now! The Hydro Archon is kinda like a big celebrity here.
Yeah, I suppose you could say that.
Hang on. This is still Fontaine's should show some more respect.
Yes, you're right. I guess I should have...
Come on.
Alright! I think we get it. Thank you! At least we now know that we can find the Hydro Archon at the Opera House. But who knows how long making an appointment will... Hey! What are you looking over there for? Maybe something's the matter. She isn't going to jump into the water, is she? Maybe we better go check on her. Paimon coming in! Paimon coming in! Is this level okay? Can you hear Paimon? Hello there?
Huh? I'm fine. Thanks.
Oh, okay then.
but there's nothing I can do but just keep my troubles to myself. I was just reminiscing about a place my brother and I would play when we were kids. It was just atop that hill over there. See?
You're pointing at the sea. Wait, are you saying that you and your brother lived in the water?
Though people call the waters around Fontaine a sea, it's actually just an inland lake that's filled with fresh water. And though I can still see that hill clearly in my memories, now it's been completely submerged. He would skip and jump, tossing sand in the wind. The sun shone brightly, but now the water is gradually swallowing our It won't be long before...
Sir!
Ah, I don't believe we've had the pleasure of meeting. Are you Lynette's new friends?
Oh, and you...
Thanks for looking after my sister. She often comes here to reminisce about our childhood, that's all. There's no need for any concern. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Linny, and this is my sister Lynette. If I had to guess, I'd say you must be travelers from abroad.
Nice to meet you! Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We were just talking with your sister. Even though we didn't really get what she was saying.
I see. It's unusual for Lynette to be so willing to talk with anyone.
Oh, really? Then you two are just like us! Paimon's always the one talking for some reason. So that's how you think it is?
I also think my brother can be too talkative at times.
Seems you were right, Paimon.
So, what did Lynette mean just now when she said that the water is...
Oh, that. It's from a prophecy that's been circulating in Fontaine for some time now. Well, I suppose prophecy isn't exactly the right word, because that implies a certain amount of uncertainty. There's no doubt about what's happening in Fontaine now. Where to begin? Let's put that question on hold for a moment. We still haven't formally greeted each other yet, have...
Did all the introductions earlier not count?
Hello, Traveler. And hello, Paimon.
Hey! Why didn't Paimon get a handshake? You're not
Please, don't take offense.
Oh, all right then. Well, Paimon, by the way, we were just getting ready...
So you're going to see Lady Farina? No problem at all. In fact, I was planning to go to the Opera House later myself. Please, follow me. You said you were going to see Lady Farina? Well, it seems Lady Farina has come to see you.
So, she's the Hydro Archon? But how did she know we were looking for her?
My dear people, rich and poor, those with cup in hand and those with nothing at all, raise your glasses in celebration! If you don't have one, then just raise your hand in lieu. As you can all see, two unfamiliar travelers have arrived in our nation. Come, let us make a toast in honor of this traveler and his companion, who have journeyed here from distant lands.
Is she talking about us?
I've long heard of the turmoil and chaos you've left in your wake as you visited other nations. But I welcome you nevertheless. No, I have come to receive you personally. Fear is for insignificant cowards. I am a god, and I will never entertain the notion of such meaningless wariness. You can be rest assured, I see clearly your sincerity. Of course, seeking an audience with me is the most sensible thing to do. It will allow you to truly behold my power and witness my authority. Intelligent people always gather under the correct banner. I, Focalor, hereby welcome you to the nation of Hydro and acknowledge the value and significance of your trip. Now, you may rejoice in this.
Yeah, Paimon still can't believe it. But the Hydro Archon's entrance was, how should I... Miss Hydro Archon? How did you know we were coming?
Ah, I see. As Outlanders, you inevitably lack even some of the most basic understanding. Don't forget that even the gods can be divided into the mediocre and the excellent. I suppose it's only natural for you to be awestruck by my abilities. You had best stop and consider. Do you really have the noble qualities and etiquette necessary to communicate with a god? All it takes is a flick of my finger for me to know everything about you.
Whoa, talk about sounding high and mighty.
Oh? What's with these looks? Perhaps the welcoming ceremony still isn't enough? What else should I say then?
Is she waiting for us to start talking?
Wow, I didn't expect to see Lady Farina here. What a surprise! Wait, does this mean they're the legendary blonde traveler? How did I not notice before?
Hey, what's all the commotion? Oh, is that Lady Farina? Is there some kind of drama going on?
Of course. That's the blonde traveler, the one all those stories are about. Lady Farina came here to personally see him. Oh, I bet this is gonna be the
Ooh, I've got to see this.
Yes, but don't get too excited now. My dear believers and spectators alike tend to get quite rowdy, and despite the noise, I've come to tolerate all their ruckus. You may consider this my reward to all of you. I have determined that there will be an epic duel between myself and this traveler from another land, just as you were hoping to see.
Now she wants to fight? Aren't we getting a little ahead of ourselves?
Are you not afraid? Might I remind you that this is a duel against the divine?
What are you trying to do, traveler? Provoking a god in front of her people?
Stand down, Clorend. I admire his bravery. Few have the courage to draw their sword against a god. He is obviously a true warrior. Unfortunately, people nowadays only crave to be thrilled, and a mere duel will not slake their thirst for excitement.
Oh, yeah, she's right. Just a duel wouldn't be all that interesting.
On Araneus, criminals are always requesting duels to defend their honor. They're getting a bit old, to tell the truth.
You see. Then, as the god of justice, I shall face this traveler in another kind of duel. A duel in court!
Whoa, all right! Now that'll be worth seeing!
Right. This is And opera house, it would be a pity not to use it.
Why do you care so much about the crowd's reactions? House. Besides, how exactly do you plan to have a duel in court?
Oh, we have reason to put you on trial. It's obvious, isn't it? According to Fontaine law, no one is permitted to release any flying objects within Fontaine city limits during the first 3 days of each month. You are clearly guilty of violating this law, no?
Oh, so that's what they've done wrong. That's our Lady Farina. No one knows the laws of Fontaine like she does.
You call that obvious? What kind of law is that? Wait, flying object? You mean Paimon?
Precisely! Now, if you two have no objections, then in the name of the Hydro Archon, I order your arrest.
My apologies, Lady Farina. I don't mean to spoil the fun, but if you would allow me to interject, I don't think that Paimon here meets the definition of a flying object.
You tell her, Linny! Finally someone who's not crazy. How could anyone call Paimon a flying object?
Ah, great magician Linny, my beloved citizen. I'll permit you to object, but how exactly do you plan to prove your claim?
As a magician who just rained on your parade, I naturally should shoulder the responsibility of saving the show. So, with such an audience gathered here, allow me to perform a trick for everyone.
Ta-da!
What? What's that on Paimon's back? Hey, when did Linny do that?
There. As you can all clearly see, Paimon should be classified as, well, something like a balloon. This rope has been in the traveler's hand all along. It was just that no one could see it before.
Huh? You call that magic? You've got to be joking.
I thought it was pretty good. Nice one.
Huh? I'm not sure what to think. It seems Lady Farina's charges don't.
Amusing. Very amusing, Linny. Just the sort of unexpected twist that I enjoy. With you here, today's performance can finally be called complete.
Performance? You see all this as a performance?
In which case, consider the matter of your trial resolved. The god of justice will not bring charges against an innocent person. But when there are valid grounds, I will not only judge travelers from abroad, but even the gods of other lands. I look forward to seeing your upcoming performance at the Opera House, Mr. Linny and Miss Lynette. That's enough for now. Toodaloo!
And just like that, she's gone! Well, that's the most unpredictable Archon Paimon's ever seen. We never even had a chance to ask her anything. But that's a problem for future Paimon. That whole scene just now was really...
Don't mention it. I just happened to remember that there was such a law, so I did a little preparation, just in case. I didn't think it would actually come in handy. So, now do you see what kind of god Lady Farina?
Anyway, Paimon had no idea you were a magician, Linny. It sounded like you'll be performing at the Opera House, right?
I just know a few simple tricks. Performing on the most prestigious stage in
Opera House where criminal trials are held in Fontaine?
performances. To the people of Fontaine, the line between a trial and a performance can be a little blurred.
Sure. We don't really have anything.
Splendid. In that case, why don't we go together? I'll show you the way. I just have something to take care of first. Oh, you really mean it? Then I'll take you up on your offer. This is a magical item known as a magic pocket. Perhaps you can help me distribute them to the people here.
Huh? What are they going to use it for?
About that, I'm not sure exactly when it began, but a prophecy has been circulating around Fontaine. It says that every person in Fontaine is born with sin. No matter how the nation of justice holds trial after trial, this sin cannot be absolved. Until one day, the water levels in Fontaine will rise, and the sinful people will slowly be drowned. In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
That sounds pretty gloomy. Why are people in Fontaine born with sin?
There are lots of guesses. Some say that the ancestors of Fontaine stole the power of the seas and stirred its wrath. Others say that the people of Fontaine never heeded the first Hydro Archon's warnings and offended Celestia. But here in Fontaine, evidence is what matters. There hasn't been concrete evidence for any of these claims, so they can only be regarded as conjecture.
If even the people in Fontaine don't know what sin they committed, what...
For years, the water levels in Fontaine have actually started rising.
Many places have already been completely submerged, and now lie beneath the sea.
Many people carry on with their lives as before and shrug it off as a natural phenomenon. But my family and I think that we hope that at least the people who reside near the waterfront can move away before it's too late. So, we've started distributing magic pockets to them. As a magical item, these magic pockets have astonishing capacity. I'm sure they will come in handy.
Oh, Paimon gets it! It's like...
Perhaps only absolute power could ever contend with such a catastrophe. Now, if you'd like to help...
So you're the Oh, a magic... Thanks.
What's this?
What?
No, the story says that people once lived in the ocean. But as time wore on... So, if you ask me, when the...
Oh, we hadn't heard that one before. But...
All right, I'll... I can't wait to give her my gift.
Huh? I don't want that thing. Life is all about living.
You should...
Oh, all right, fine. Thanks. It's just that...
Oh? You already handed out all of the magic pockets? That was fast. Yes, but that...
Is there anything else?
Yes, one...
So, you wanna...
Oh, that would be much appreciated.
It seems we have to use Hydro to collect for maritime flowers.
Yoo-hoo!
You made quick work of that. I can tell you're an experienced... Maybe next time you'll...
No, wait.
Fine.
So, we're going to...
Wait, shh. Have you noticed that person over there? The young girl.
Huh?
She's obviously a thief. Magicians and thieves practice similar methods. We divert attention, and a distracted audience is one that won't just watch her movements.
Oh, he's right!
Shh, keep your voice down. We need to think of a way to catch her, but it seems she's very alert. You two can ride the lift over there and wait up top. I bet that... All right, let...
This is the spot where Linny wanted us to wait. Oh, look! Isn't that her? Oh no! Did she notice us? What should we do? Should we chase her? You're right. She might also... Nothing's happened for a while now. Paimon wonders us if Linny caught the thief. Yeah, let's... Lighting was perfect when I took these photos.
Are you sure that's all she...
No. Anyway,
Oh, were you returning what the thief had stolen?
That's right. Pity I wasn't able to catch her. She distracted me by dropping the thing she stole on...
I saw the general direction change.
Oh,
I'll be all right.
If you want to play at being a hero, at least
You're right. But at least we were able to get this...
what a slip!
All right.
How long will it take if I set out from here?
So, we ride this thing to go into the city? What an ingenious way to get around! People in Fontaine really know how to use water!
This is an aquabus. It allows people to try... It's pretty convenient, but the ride can become a little...
So you mean it's still boring, even when I'm riding?
No, that's not what I meant. Besides, it doesn't really feel like a real trip when it's just the...
Guess that's what it's like to be an older brother.
It's about time for us to leave.
Oh, excuse me! Aren't you the great magician Linny? And his assistant Lynette?
Hello. I don't believe we've...
I'm Charlotte, a reporter for the Steambird.
Nice to meet you. From the Steambird, huh? We've often relied on your paper to promote our performances.
It's an honor to meet you.
Wait, could that be the legendary traveler who's been making headline after headline in their journey across Tibet?
Amazing! You recognize everybody?
I wouldn't be much of a reporter if I... Wow, today must be my day. Who knew I would end up on the same boat as so many VIPs?
So, Charlotte, what do you usually
Well, when there isn't any breaking news, I mainly cover the trials at the Opera House. You can still manage to keep readers' attention, as, for example, reporting on how a scammer once deceived vulnerable girls into relationships, or how a financial criminal was once so poor that they ate a single piece of bread for 5... That's fine and all, but what I'm really after... Oh, I just remembered! I've been following a...
You mean the serial disappearances of young...
That's right! These stories are the top... If I'm the first with a draft ready to Oh! When that happens,
So, what is the...
That's right! An efforts, but the scariest... Many suspects have been arrested over the years in connection with this case, but shortly after each arrest, another disappearance would always happen. Yes, it's possible.
Yes, I agree. And at the I just imagined for a second what I would do if Lynette were to suddenly disappear.
Please don't imagine.
Well, I really enjoyed chatting with you. Life should be full of pleasant little surprises.
Yeah, us as well.
Ah, I have an interview to get to.
Okay.
Bye now.
What a tough job. Always running around.
If you don't mind, how about we stop by my home first?
Sure.
This is our current abode. Ah, Fremine, you're home. Where did everyone else go? I have some new friends that I would like to introduce.
Oh, they all just went out a moment ago.
I see. Everyone is getting busier now that Father will be returning soon. I suppose that can't be helped. Allow me to introduce you to my little brother, Fremine. He is a phenomenal diver.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this...
Linny, could you come here for a moment?
What is it, Fremine? Do you have something to tell me? Okay, I see.
Is everything all right?
Oh, it's nothing. We were just discussing a little... Oh, before I forget, the Traveler and I collected more materials to...
Yes,
That's our Fremine, always quick with the underwater work. All right, I'll take these to the workshop.
Looks like rain.
Oh, you're right. But wasn't it clear and sunny just a moment ago?
I'm afraid that's just how it is here. It often rains on days where there are trials being held in the Opera House, but don't worry, it'll clear up soon enough.
What's wrong, Fremine?
there's a legend about the rain that I tend to believe. It's said that a dragon of water once resided in Fontaine. Though we don't know where the dragon went, every time it weeps, the skies will cloud up and pour out rain. When I was a child, my mother told me that if I wanted to go outside and play, Hydro Dragon! Hydro Dragon! Don't cry!
If it's an elemental dragon, then having the power to make it rain wouldn't be very unusual. Let Paimon try something. Hydro Dragon, don't cry!
Doesn't seem to be of any use. It is just a legend after all.
You know, you might be a more popular magician if you understood the concept of romanticism. Or could at least play along.
Sorry. It might be because we've never met the Hydro Dragon. Perhaps it can't be comforted by the words of strangers. It rained for longer than I suspected. Oh, it's already...
Was there something you needed to do?
Yeah, some preparations for the show at the Opera House. I need to find a way to catch the last aqua bus of the day. On the day of the performance, just ride the aqua bus to the island of Aeneas.
Are you leaving now?
What is it, Fremine? Perhaps we could trouble the Traveler to help us take these materials to the Beaumont. I'm afraid that Fremine can be quite introverted, and the boss there tends to be pretty talkative. Fremine has always been a little afraid of her.
No trouble at all. Don't worry, we're on the case.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
Oh, no need. Hello?
Oh, hello there. New customers? Looking to buy, or do you need something made?
Oh, no, we're just here to deliver some materials.
Ah, these must be for Magic Pockets. No need. But they insisted on
Whoa.
I can't.
Hey,
Why use your hand?
but where does a big machine like that get its power?
Well, it's a little but basically, everything we usually use here in the city is powered by indemnitium. It's a type of energy that's produced from trials.
Huh? How can trial...
Well, I'm not completely sure of all. When a trial is in session, the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale harvests people's belief in justice and converts it into energy to be used all around.
So that's what its other function is? Paimon heard that the Oratrice was created by the Archon to make judgment, but... Paimon still doesn't get it. How could something unreliable like... Oh, yeah! So that means the Hydro Archon
Even though I've never heard anyone really put it that way before, it sounds like it makes sense. Besides indemnitium, we have another type of energy called pneumosia. It isn't produced by the power of the Archon, but it is unstable by nature. Even now, it still cannot be widely used by...
I thought I'd find you hard at work, but here you are chatting the day away. Since you're...
You again? Didn't I already promise you that I'd
Yeah, but...
Huh?
Seems business isn't so great for the workshop.
Hey, hold on. Before you go around trying to collect payments, why don't you settle your own debts first? If Confrérie of Cabriere wants to poach clients from Northland Bank, that's fine. But I'm afraid you still owe the bank a hefty sum of mora. So why don't we work...
You're from Northland Bank. But we said we'll pay everything we owe next...
Traveler, Paimon! I didn't think I'd run into you here in Fontaine. What are the chances?
We're surprised to see you too. What are you doing here in Fontaine? You didn't want to stay in Snezhnaya?
Long story short, I've already been in Fontaine for some time now. And honestly, things have been pretty boring. But it seems that fate brought our paths together today. Not only will I have some good friends here now, but ones who always seem to find trouble. Either way you look at it, it seems things are going to get a lot more
Pretty sure we'd want to avoid anything that you'd find interesting. Besides, our trip here has gone pretty well so far. Right, Traveler?
Hey, you! Northland Bank...
Don't interrupt. It's not often I run into the Traveler like this. Why don't you wait for me over there for a while?
You kidding? Aren't you the one looking for us? You really expect us to sit and twiddle our thumbs while you catch up with your... Listen to me, boy. If you want your mora, fine.
Hey, I just said not to interrupt. Oh, by the way, Traveler, the last time I took Tonya and Tusser ice fishing, Tusser said...
Hey! That's way over the line! All right!
Can you at least let me finish one sentence? Fine. Though the bank told me not to get rough with our clients. You're the ones who started it. This is an act of self-defense. You two will have to be my witnesses, okay?
I'm sure this won't take long.
You're mine. Yeah. Yeah. Shouldn't let your guard down.
Oh, what's your deal, Brad?
Oh. Huh?
Now's my chance!
Huh. That was weird. I'm not sure. It's as if I suddenly lost control of my hydropowers when I needed.
Strange. How could that happen? First time Paimon's ever.
Never mind. It doesn't matter. If I want to stay sharp, I shouldn't be relying too much on my vision anyway. Besides, I always have my delusion in case I need it.
So what are you doing in Fontaine, child? And don't say it's work for Northland Bank.
Well, I guess it's because I've been in a bad mood lately.
Huh? What kind of reason is that? Wait, since when do you feel down about it?
I don't know. But recently, there seems to be some sort of restless power stirring inside of me.
Maybe you losing control of your vision.
That is a possibility. I can't remember if I ever mentioned it before, but when I was 14, I fell into some unknown abyss. It was during that time I learned nearly all of my abilities. The one who took me under her wing and taught me was named Skirk. She was always quiet and very mysterious. Nobody knew where she came from or what she had been through, and she was always very strict when teaching me combat tech. One time, I asked her why she was willing to take me on as an apprentice. Because I had awakened it, and traces of it remained on me. She said that all my combat training would be.
But what is it?
She never explained that. But my guess is that it's related to a dream. In my dream, I was in the deepest depths of the sea, and the boundless seabed was all around me. But in front of me appeared a whale that was so massive, I felt like I couldn't breathe.
A whale? Oh, that sounds familiar! When we fought against you before, you summoned a huge whale that seemed to leap at us.
That's just an abstract form of a whale that I create using my elemental. It takes that shape because the scene I dreamt of the whale has always been stuck in my mind.
So you used the whale as inspiration for one of your... So why don't you just go ask your master?
You make it sound so easy. Ever since the incident I experienced there, I've never stopped searching for Master Skirk, but it's been years now, and I've still found nothing. There isn't even a trace of the place where I remember falling into the abyss.
Oh, it sounds like some kind of ghost story.
Yeah, I'm out of leads at this point, but there's nothing more I can do. It seems that strange encounters in this world tend to be elusive like that. Oh, seems the time really flies when I'm talking with you.
What? More work for the Northland?
No, it's more of a personal appointment. Lately, I've been sparring with some of Fontaine's
official champion duel. To duel?
Yep. In Fontaine, before a criminal goes to court, they're given one chance to defend their honor by requesting a duel with an official champion duelist. The champion duelists are all powerful fighters selected. Criminal manages to win the duel, and the worst case scenario is that you're simply killed in the duel. Though it's rumored that Fontaine has a death penalty, from what I can tell, no one has ever been officially sentenced to death. So really, the only people who opt to duel are those who have suffered a grave injustice in being accused, or those who greatly value their honor. Otherwise, why gamble with your life?
So, do many people actually get out of their trials by winning the duel?
Apparently, it's exceedingly rare for anyone to actually win. Fontaine probably enacted this system as a way to show that the nation respects the honor. Besides, none of the champion duelists are to be trifled with, which is exactly why I was itching to face them as soon as I got to Fontaine. Apparently, the one I'm meeting today, champion duelist. I had been asking her for some time before she finally agreed. Oh, before I forget, I want you to have
Everyone knows what you're up to. You just want an excuse to come to...
I'll be in touch.
He said... well... Wow! Who could have seen that coming? The reporter who was... sorry. The whodunit's here? It's so exciting to reach the moment... Lenny said that the Opera House is on Aeneas, so let's go ride the Aquabus! Whoa! Now this is fancy! The Opera Epiclese. What a place to hold a Huh! Looks like there's a lot of people standing around the fountain up ahead.
Oh, Archon, please bless us with a bright and healthy child.
I don't know why you...
I guess if there are, kid, then there's no doubt they'll turn out...
Maybe this is one of the customs in Fontaine.
Vache,
What's wrong?
Vache, Vache.
No, Paimon didn't say anything.
Welcome to the Fountain of Lucine. All the water... Lenny asked...
Right.
What do you mean? There are a lot of people here right now.
Hey, you're not trying...
I see. In fact, you might not be imagining things at all. I suspect that what you heard is a result of your hypersensitivity to the hydro element.
It's because of his sensitivity to the hydro element?
When do you cry, Paimon?
Wait, what? What does that have to do with any...
Just answer me.
When Paimon's really sad? Oh,
Then you should understand that tears contain your... Like I just mentioned, the Fountain of Lucine. So maybe what you heard was the intense emotion.
So, what did the voice say? Huh.
Rather than war, don't let that calm...
Oh, right.
Not a big fan of opera.
Welcome to the Opera Epiclese.
Traveler and Paimon, good to see you. I knew you two would come.
Are you kidding?
But you're actually right on time. The audience... The Opera House has assigned seating, so you always have to make reservations. I've...
Ooh, front row seats! Thanks, Linny!
Don't mention it. There's no need to keep thanking...
Hey, Lenny! Could you come over here and take a...
Oh, I'll be right there. Seems there's an issue with the stage props over there.
Yeah, we'll just go... Oh, these should be our seats! Come on! Hey, Traveler. Maybe we should strike up a conversation with the person next to us. Since we're sitting together and the rest of the place is practically empty still. Ah, you little...
Excuse me, I did not realize you felt awkward. I am terribly sorry. I would be perfectly happy to chat with you if that is what you would like.
Oh, so you heard all of that, did ya? Boy, you sure have good ears. Paimon thought she was keeping her voice down. Wait, that's not it, Paimon's... Sorry. Paimon's the one who was being rude, talking under her breath like that. So, let's talk, but, what should we talk about? Oh, Paimon's got it. You're also here early, and...
A friend, you say? Well, if Mr. Linney would like to be my friend, I would be more than happy to reciprocate.
Oh, so you're not friends with Linny, then? Oh, this is getting more awkward by the second. Paimon nearly forgot to make her introduction. Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Fontaine.
It is an honor to meet you two. I have heard of your deeds across Tevat, and as required by proper etiquette, I will also introduce myself. I am...
Oh, Monsieur Nervillet. What an honor it is to have you here to see my show.
Ah, Mr. Linney. I should say it is in fact an honor for me to see your performance in...
Wait, Nervillet? Could he be...
I saw you all chatting just now, but it seems you still don't know who Monsieur Nervillet is. Allow me to introduce you to Fontaine's Chief Justice. That seat is always reserved for him. It wouldn't be too much to say that he's the symbol of justice and honesty here in Fontaine.
Ooh, sorry for being so rude just now. Paimon had no idea you were such an important person.
No offense taken. Being Chief Justice is merely what I do for work. Nearly every person has their usual reserved seat, so I'm not so special, really. And by the way, I should probably let you know, even though I would prefer not to, there's someone sitting up there in the VIP seats that has been striking a pose for quite a while now. I believe she is trying to give you a most elegant and impressive first impression. So I think you should take notice of her sooner rather than later. Otherwise, she may become flustered.
Huh? Oh, it's Farina, the Hydro Archon. Huh. She sure has a smug and satisfied look on her face. Guess she has no idea that you saw right through her act.
Very good. That is for the best. No need to pay her any more attention. We may now enjoy the show.
Huh? So is this what things are like between the Chief Justice and the Hydro Archon?
All right, please wait just a moment longer. I've pretty much finished my preparations, and the performance will start as soon as the audience has made their way to their seats.
Yay! The show's finally about to start! Paimon can hardly wait! Paimon's never seen a real live magic show! Ooh! They're dimming the lights! The show must be starting! Sorry. Paimon.
Welcome, one and all, to the Opera Epiclese. I am the star of today's show, Linny. And over here is my sister, Lynette, who will be working as my wonderful assistant. Please, let's give her a warm welcome.
Hello, everyone.
I know she may seem to be a little sleepy right now, but that's just a sign that she's nervous.
Whatever.
Now, some of you may be thinking, two vision holders who can freely manipulate elemental powers performing magic is not true magic at all. So, I would like to take a moment to assure you that elemental powers will have Both Lynette and myself have removed our visions for the show. That way, even the gods won't be able to help us.
Oh, good point. That's what makes the show real magic.
Now, without further ado, let the show begin. Lynette will now exit the stage to make some preparation. I know you might miss her, but don't worry. She'll be coming right back on stage momentarily. Perhaps in an unexpected... Oh, and before I forget, you never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. A magician's greatest skill is making things disappear or appear. The possibilities are endless. Huh? But this isn't what you came for. These little tricks, you've seen them all before. So it's time for something truly extraordinary, don't you think? This one's a little tricky. Using this water tank, I shall make my sister vanish completely, right before your very eyes. It's actually quite simple. She'll just turn into air bubbles and float right out of the top. Oh no! I told them to check all the props carefully. With the lid on, even air can't escape. An amateur magician would be getting very nervous right around now. Luckily, it's me on stage, so let me show you what a true virtuoso can do. Lynette, are you still there? Don't go too far. We don't want to use up all our magic.
Hi, I'm back.
Uh-huh.
Whoa! What in the world just happened? How did he do that? Paimon didn't see him do anything! Wasn't Lynette inside the water tank? How did she disappear and then
If we could see easily through his tricks, and that would mean that his skills are still lacking. To appreciate magic, you should focus on the show happening on stage, rather than getting caught up in trying to see that which has been intentionally hidden.
Guess you're right. Paimon couldn't believe her eyes when Lynette reappeared. Amazing!
Thank you, everyone. I'm glad you enjoyed that performance. But our magical journey has only just begun. I've prepared even more astonishing surprises for everyone here. The magic of transformation and disappearance can go far beyond what you've just seen. I'm sure many of you are thinking that escaping the water tank was impressive enough. But Lynette is still my assistant after all. In which case, I have ample time to make all necessary preparations. So, for my next trick, I will require the participation of one lucky audience member. Please, if my assistants could bring out the magical boxes now. There are 2 boxes and only 2 boxes. One is here, and one is there in the aisle among the audience. I'm sure many of our clever audience members have already guessed our next magic trick. A swap! Our lucky audience member and I will each enter a magic box. After 1 minute, we will... Now please, everyone pay very close attention to the box you see here. Don't give me...
Wow! How's he gonna do this? Hey, do you think this is all magic tricks, or does Lenny have actual...
The lucky audience member will be generated by... It selects numbers entirely at random. Even I don't know... Now then, let's begin. Let me see... Oh, row 7, seat 3. Congratulations! You now have the chance to experience magic firsthand. Please, come forward. My assistant will take you... I'm sorry, it might be a little cramped inside, but no need to feel nervous. We've carefully arranged everything for you. You don't need to do... If the magic is interrupted, who knows where you might end up?
Oh.
All right, like this. 60, 59, 58. I won't be able to see anything in the pitch black. Oh, and no tricks now. If you quickly count...
Ooh! Paimon kinda wants to count faster after hearing him say that!
No, that won't do. I can see it in your eyes. You still can't... Come on, repeat after me. 60. That's right, perfect. Keep it going. All right, I'll see you all...
54, 53? Why aren't you counting nervously?
I am counting in my head. I think things are exciting enough in here as it is. Merely a consequence of my identity and personality. Do not worry about me. Just enjoy the show.
Oh, alright. You look so serious that Paimon thought you might be feeling uncomfortable or something.
40! 39! 30! Mr. Linney, are you all right in there? Is everything ready?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm just double-checking the direction of the magic. It would be a disaster if we get sent to the wrong places. For example, midair right above the audience.
Even though he's saying that, Lenny doesn't seem nervous at all. What was that noise? Did you hear it too? Not sure. Anyway, it doesn't...
25! 24! 23! What's wrong, Mr. Linney?
I seem to have accidentally knocked over a decoration. I'm trying to fix it, but it's...
Never mind the decorations. There's no time for that. The show is what...
No, that's unacceptable. I want my show to be perfect. Don't...
19! 18!
It seems things aren't quite going as planned. It feels like you're all starting to count faster, but that's all right. I know it can be tiring to do such a long countdown. 10 seconds and change is still plenty of time.
10!
Almost there now. Whew. Swapping 2 people is harder work than you might think. Even a master magician like me can't guarantee I'll get it right the first time. Hey, wait! Is this the back one? I can't tell. They both look the same inside. Huh? No, that's not it. I'll try again.
7!
Hey, slow down! Honestly!
5! 4! 3!
Whoops! That doesn't count!
0!
Is this part of the show? Mr. Lenny, you're going to use magic to fix the stage now.
What happened?
Oh no. Maybe this isn't part of the show. The girl...
This performance is over. Medical staff with me. Guards, secure the scene and detain all the performers. Seal the exits. No one is allowed in or out at this time.
Yes, that's right. If this was just an accident, then we must investigate the cause. But if this was all part of some scheme, then those accountable will not escape the judgment of the god of...
No need to be alarmed, you two. We'll get to the bottom of this soon enough. Unfortunately, the person who is in the magic box has been pronounced dead. His name was Cowell, one of the assistants in Linny's magic troupe. Apparently, the fireworks on stage ignited the ropes that were suspending the water tank, which then caused the tank to fall onto the stage. As of now, we are still not sure why we found Cowell in the box, rather than the guest from the audience. And after an initial search of the area, the guards have confirmed that the girl is nowhere to be found. It appears that this incident was not merely some mishap with the performance, and there are many indications that it is connected with the case of the serial disappearances of young women.
The serial disappearances case?
That's the case that Charlotte mentioned before.
I know the truth. I can see through the whole thing. Really, using such a shallow and obvious mystery as his finale. Did he really underestimate us that badly? I say that our powerful magician, Mr. Linny, is now the prime suspect for the serial disappearances case.
Huh? Why me? This whole thing was an accident.
No, this all occurred during your magic show, did it not? The missing girl disappeared after being chosen, did she not? The deceased is one of your assistants, is he not? Now that I think about it, that whole speech about magicians making things disappear was nothing more than a provocation, a bald-faced challenge.
That can't be right. How could Linny do this? He was in the box on the stage the entire time. We could even hear his voice. Besides, before the show, he told us that he would like to catch the criminal behind the disappearances. He couldn't possibly mean catching himself.
Save discussion for a later time, please. Lady Farina, may I assume that your comments just now constitute an accusation against Mr. Linny and his associates, and that you are pressing charges?
Huh? I just think that he... Well, I think it might be a little early to talk about formally pressing charges.
But what Lady Farina said just now makes perfect sense. Looks like she's gonna personally deliver justice.
A kidnapping and murder carried out under the cover of a magic show. Lady Farina said it all.
I mean, of course, my dear people. But what excites me even more than the obvious truth before our eyes is the opponent I'll be facing. That's right. I mean you, Traveler. You'll support Linny, won't you? After all, he was the one who helped you the first time we met. Then there's no problem at all. You know, the Traveler and I already had a duel the first time we met. But with Linny's help, our little duel ended in a draw. But draws really are the most boring possible outcome. So no more draws. Between the two of us, there must be a clear winner and loser. And what better place to hold such a riveting showdown and decide the true victor than here, on the grandest of stages, the Opera Epiclese.
Huh. It wasn't a draw. She obviously lost last time.
I understand. Charges have now been pressed, and as such, a trial is in order. Well, Traveler, seems Lady Farina has set you in her sights. But putting her dramatic rhetoric aside for a moment, I would like to ask you, Are you willing to act as Mr. Linney's attorney and defend him in this case? Very well. The trial will be held a day from now in the Opera House. Both sides may investigate the scene to build their cases and search for the truth. Linney and his troupe are all potential suspects and shall remain within the Opera House. The audience may begin to leave in an orderly fashion once they have been cleared by the guards.
A day isn't that long. Let's see what kind of case this big shot outlander can build in such a short amount of time. I'm really quite looking forward to hearing it.
Lenny!
Sorry about everything that happened.
Of course! Who wouldn't be scared after witnessing an accident like that?
Yeah, I'm a little shaken up myself. How could this happen? And poor Cal. I know you already claimed that you would defend me, but now it's just us talking. Tell me, do you think I could I understand. Even I'm not sure what happened. I'm sure everyone sees me as the biggest suspect at this point. But if you ask me, the whole thing is mysteries layered upon mysteries, such that all that's left... I don't know whether what happened there. As for how that girl chosen from the even a skilled and knowledgeable...
Which is precisely why we need to investigate! As this book says, the impossible could not have happened. Whatever happened must have been that which is possible. I'm on board though, don't worry.
I think they look cute.
You have good taste, Lynette.
That's the right attitude. But with the guards, good thing you...
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, just leave it to... since we're going to start...
Oh, well...
The secrets behind our magic are past saving.
I suppose you're right. The truth... 'tis truly a pity. But if revealing our secrets will help you uncover... We should go somewhere else if we're going to discuss our magic tricks. We'll go speak with the guards and...
Alright, let's go have a look while the investigation team... Hello, officer. How's the investigation going?
I see.
Huh?
Come with me and you'll see. The deceased is one of Linney's assistants, named Cal. Even though he hadn't joined the assistants are usually in charge of setting up and inspecting the props, as well as assisting with the show and keeping... As you probably saw when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell and smashed the... This is the real mystery. We've already searched the scene and were unable to... However, if you look carefully, the box was positioned directly under the water tank. The ropes holding the tank were then burned by the pyrotechnics on stage, causing them to snap. All these factors lining up so perfectly makes it hard to... If anything, the more logical explanation is that the whole incident was intentionally planned, and Linney is the most likely...
But he doesn't have a motive!
Are you both good...
Well, you can't say we're good friends, but...
So I know there's no such thing as magic. I've seen a lot of cases. Sorry, I tend to be... Anyway, you may investigate the scene of the crime yourselves if you're curious.
Whoever the murderer was, they... Why would it be him? Why would it be him?
Hey, you! Yes, both of you.
Huh? You mean us?
That's right. If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and pursue the truth. No? And by the looks of it, you're not from Fontaine.
Well, you're right on the more about that one, but who are you?
Have you never heard of the Spina di Rosula? From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums, you name it, Spina di Rosula does it. And I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president. Though those who play by our rules call me boss.
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Melus. Demoiselle's various daily needs and affairs are under my purview.
Huh?
Well, I am the second generation president. Malus and the others are still used.
My apologies, Demoiselle. Should you prefer, boss, I will endeavor to use that instead.
No need. You don't have to call me boss. Just Navia is fine.
Okay, if you say so. Not that we're members of Spina di Rosula anyway.
All merely trifling details. Never mind. That's right. I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance cases. My interest stems from a matter back from my Judging from the look of things, I find Linny an unlikely mastermind.
Really? We think so too, but how did...
Intuition, naturally. My unparalleled intuition. Farina sure was quick to point the finger at Linny without any decisive evidence, but that's not uncommon for her. If you remember, the Justice had to interrupt her and ask if she was pressing charges just to keep her from getting carried away. Anyway, a trial begins the moment someone levels charges. And, of course, there was no way Farina was going to back down in that situation.
Sounds more like you just don't trust the Hydro Archon.
Well, what's your opinion? I must admit that she can be... All right, I've answered your question.
Wait a minute, did that answer count?
Well, I say it does. But don't worry, you won't hear any pointless questions from me. In your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's an opera?
Well?
And why would that be?
Most astute of you, Demoiselle. No matter how one... And if that can be...
All right, that's quite enough, Malus. Now, I need to make some preparations, following which our joint investigation shall commence.
Wait! Since when did we become assistants?
Oh, well, I can be the assistant. Sure. Or your companion, if you like.
That's more like it.
Far be it from me to brag, but I believe that Demoiselle's intuition will be instrumental in uncovering the truth. You wish to save a friend from false accusations, and we wish to...
You have a point. And what about you over there? What do you think? You seem like you've got something on your mind.
I have nothing to add.
Oh.
We'll be making some preparations first.
Why would it be him? Why would it be him?
Sorry.
Were you all...
Yes. So, the missing girl could hide.
How can you be...
Well, I couldn't see, but still, we met.
So, it's safe to say the girl couldn't have left through here. All right, thank you for your help. This...
I see that you're... If you find it...
We don't have too many thoughts yet.
Then why don't I tell you my hypothesis first?
The thud?
Yes, exact. It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Linny's trick with bated breath. So no one paid it much mind. I'm of the opinion that it may have been the sound of Linny's accomplice. Lynette, perhaps. Jumping... And when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope, sending...
Wait, wasn't the noise we heard too...
Perhaps the balance wasn't right. Oh, that's true.
That does remind...
The investigate.
See?
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Linny and Lynette with their side of the investigation. What were you saying about the number select?
You're trying to help them?
Linny used the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance, right? Well, we thought there might be a serious problem with the machine, so we had it taken away for further inspection.
It turns out that the seat number it picked wasn't random at all. The machine picks that same number every time. I'm sure you already know that you have to make a reservation in advance to get a seat, regardless of whether it's a trial or some performance. In other words, Linny knew who would be sitting where.
That much checks out.
Bet you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Linny.
So this is the rope that broke and caused... The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks? Why are you suddenly so serious, Traveler? Whoa, most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left. So if a rope meant to hold some... Wait! Why might you write all this down? Hello there! What?
Oh, this location is... The seats were all booked in advance. So we were... Sure, it's not... Her name is Halsey. She's a painter from Fontaine who's made a bit of a name for herself. Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some pressure with her work lately, which the Magic Troupe members all claim not to. Simply put, she wasn't related to the Magic Troupe at all, which matches...
Were the victims of previous cases also chosen?
That's how it seems to us, in any case. Apart from the fact that they were all young women of around the same age range, there really weren't any other connections between them.
Okay then.
No need to be so formal. It is of utmost importance that we...
We've checked everything of note here at the performance venue. Paimon wonders how Linny's discussion with the guards is going. Let's go see, shall we? Ooh, things are getting interesting, huh?
Understood.
Very good.
You may spare the pleasant...
You've arrived. Who's this?
Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the firepower. Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Call me Navia. I'm a partner of theirs, and we'll be helping investigate this whole situation. And these are my companions. Would you mind if they join as well?
Fine.
Oh, new helpers?
Well, let's just say we're tagging along. It's not every day you get to see the secrets behind magic performed on such a large scale.
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
Huh? Below stage?
Yes, a world of secrets is hidden beneath this magic box. But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here? I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used.
Weren't there balloons and other decorations here?
Ah, good eye. That said, you're still...
The back? You mean the
Very good indeed. I thought you might not be... The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get? Exactly.
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic box!
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you... The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the 2 and... See this flat? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shuttled over to the other side.
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the...
I see. So that's the purpose of the box.
Precisely.
So that's how you did it!
Once the box was, the audience member would only be able to feel some.
Right!
Ah, yes. My assistant.
And what about.
I was in the mezzanine space in the back.
Oh,
That's how we were able to coordinate Linny's lines with the assistant. And, by the way, I was the one who walked out of the box at the end.
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who. And that's my favorite part of this trick. Only Lynette and I can perform it.
So that's how it all worked! Wow!
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel and escaping before the box on the trolley could finish ascending. And then I walk out of the other box in the audience area, and the trick would be complete. But as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our audience member. She, on the...
We really don't know how that happened.
If not for that interlude, this would have been an astonishing trick. I probably never would have And yet, to think that someone was able... Could we have a look around? I think we can...
This is the scene of the crime. So Linny and Lynette are not permitted to stay here.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now.
Thanks, everyone.
Why would it be him? Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh?
Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick. But...
Whatever it is...
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Speaking of which, why...
Oh! Paimon knows! It's... and here's a broken vase!
That can't be. The trolley moves along tracks from start to finish. It couldn't have hit the vase at this distance.
Let's
Oh, her clothes are here, but she's nowhere to...
Right! Ugh, this is so What is this place?
It seems someone...
Alone, perhaps. But if they had to pull...
But there are no other ways in or out of here. Oh, you're right! Let Paimon write that down. Seems we're just about done investigating down here.
Yes, let's head back up. Well, we've ascertained the state of the crime scene. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Maloose returned.
Apologies for the wait,
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal escape through the vent?
They believe the odds of that are very low, since the guards have checked the area carefully. No one left through the basement during the performance or after the incident.
So the tunnel's become like a secret chamber then!
The plot thickens. Halsey's disappearance and Cowell's death are both quite inexplicable. No wonder Farina was so confident in her accusation. All the current evidence points toward Linny.
In other words, the charges are very likely to be upheld unless we make some considerable...
Charges and then trial.
So that's right. This is how a trial goes in the Opera House. That's right. This is how indemnitium is produced. The statements from both sides, the defenses from attorneys, witness testimonies, and even the audience's emotion. To put it simply, it's as if the oratrice has its own will, and is a judge in its own right.
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice. Not that this has ever happened.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision. Then, finally, the Oratrice will be consulted by officials. The result it returns is the will of justice.
Huh? So that machine is the one that actually decides? Paimon thought Neverlet called the shots.
In practice, there is very little difference. Both have always come to the same judgment. Which is... yes, the guards also asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed to leave this place.
Huh?
Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies. That makes us persons related to the case.
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties, or that we might find outside help to... And even if that were not so, it could prove problematic if we happen to spread key information about the case ahead.
I'm ready to break out at...
Whoa! There's no need for that! Paimon thinks they have a point.
Of course. I just hope...
In that case, let's just sort out our finding. I mean, what better...
Huh. Breaking out, son. Just kidding! Paimon...
What do you mean?
Huh?
Understood, Demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
Wait, you're carrying...
Yes?
I have eggs.
These three are quite the interesting group. And Paimon got it from the way you had these two guys carrying, but you ended up doing...
I was a plot.
And I was giving encouragement.
Don't underestimate... Anyway.
Only...
Well...
Tea is ready to be served as... No need for...
All right, then. However, the magician...
Exactly! What?
The flower vase resulting in the... Perhaps the crypt...
Paimon thinks that makes sense.
True, but... The only people left to consider are both technically...
Huh. Could all...
That's right. And even if she... Nor does she have...
From the sound of your macaron... What?
Please don't worry about it. At my...
Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate two... Wait! Even you don't believe if Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons?
Malus?
Huh?
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course.
Exactly!
As you wish.
And I have the...
Well, that's it for snack time. I don't know. It would be...
All right, thanks.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Malus, it's time to... I'll be back if I find...
All right, it's time to put our heads together. We've got to get our defense ready for the trial. Oh...
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lenny and Lynette, at least besides, I doubt Farina understands any more about what happened than we do.
Thanks, Navia.
Well, best of luck to you.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how did your...
To be honest?
No. We're already very...
Well now, don't you all look disappointed? Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed. That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never... But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe...
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session. Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please—
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been—
Thank you, Mr. Linney. In that, you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick—
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying. There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at—
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might lead—
No, nothing.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so—
Huh?
Hey, hang on. Something's not right here.
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box, and I definitely heard the thud.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid. Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
The House of the Hearth?
No wonder they did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatui's doing. Now
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure... The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and discord. Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
Hey, Linny, why didn't you tell us this before?
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady Farina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth. Are these claims true? Please answer my—
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true.
I knew it!
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
What should we do now?
Granted. In that case, what is your request?
Is that really necessary?
The defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is there left to
Order! Order! Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought. In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy...
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys. Not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon—
I'm very sorry. I know you've clashed with the Fatui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word, but our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Right now, we want to save people.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that it's— I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, that's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some deep— The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to. Right. So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster, but still, I'm asking you to trust me.
Sorry.
Well, you both say that, but— Right. Let's hear your answer first.
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick, with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core—
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about— which should have been impossible, of course, I was quite certain that voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't— After that, the homicide occurred just—
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secret.
That's the only way we can save—
So, there you have it. It was never my wish to proceed under the— But like I said earlier, you can be the judge.
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
Okay.
Thanks for giving us a—
The current problem is that the skill— If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight defense. Huh?
Both parties have returned to their positions. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina—
That took long enough. At this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective. As the countdown began, when the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box. He did not realize that the sound could be heard. Finally, he used the vase to knock her out before making her change. At this time, Cowell arrived, so Linney proceeded to knock afterward. Linney passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice. And there you have it.
Does the defendant's side have any objection?
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events. According to Linney, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have— Linny went to the... Linny did not take part in the underground altercation.
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon. When the countdown started, Linny did indeed go into the tunnel, but he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which, once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been the crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel. Finally, he reached the Paimon did it!
In other words, you believe that he—
That's right!
My reasoning?
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Linny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing—
Oh, they have a point.
That's right, you tell him! And that's why they're partners of mine.
Oh, well, your denial is very strident. I'll give you that. Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, you're saying that he wasn't?
Are you sure we don't need to give this more thought? Paimon? That's right! Linny wasn't in the box. This means that when the crime happened, the same clue you used to disprove his alibi...
To think you'd use such logic. Well then, if it wasn't Linny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant.
Huh? That can't be... The killer was, in fact, Cowell, the deceased!
Oh, is that so?
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be... The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrances. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between them. Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment. No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrance. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Linny as well. The sound we heard may have come from a clash, but Linny was not in the tunnel at that... The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. The sound we heard may have come... The deceased's name is Cowell. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing... Linny was not in the tunnel at that... It would have been tough for both people. The deceased's name is Cowell. No one entered or left the opera house through its... Halsey's clothing was in the... The sound we heard may have come from a clash. No one entered or... It would have been tough for both...
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
I see how it is.
Look, since we're at a dead end, why, just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's.
If only we knew how.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits. And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real...
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents, but do you not see that the crowd...
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. The sound we heard may have come from... The deceased's name is... The vase was not broken by chance. It was...
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey... Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing... If there's a similar method...
Just a moment, please. How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking... Must we really? I should think that of anyone. Your magic tricks are...
Even so, the truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that... Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't...
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end...
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an... Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are... water from the primordial sea.
The primordial sea?
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword... dissolve. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as such. We believe that the defense's hypothesis is...
You've got to be kidding! People dissolve...
Could something so ridiculous...
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy.
Huh. If people can become water... Does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowell was Wait just a minute. Could that mean...
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partner?
Let's go. Just...
Order! Order! It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results. Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, please continue examining the items. Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please...
Of course. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hut! Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that...
Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another... The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. Now it seems like the hook... The water from the primordial... Lynette was in the magic box on... I remember there was... the rope that held the water... Now it seems like the rope that held the water tank up. The rope that held the water the water from the primordial sea the rope that held the water tank. The rope that held the water tank up was the water from the The deceased's name is
Ahem. It's in the original plan. Cowl would tamper with the water tank when the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, when the balloon attached to the box popped. Though afterward, Cowl would enter the tunnel but he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel.
Huh. That does make sense.
That actually links together a lot.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now.
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to... His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence. I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other, and we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Linny's personal effects.
What?
That can't be.
Does this not clear? My dear citizens, my lord... Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution, having made modifications to the... But upon his return, in cruel avarice, Linny desired sole credit and prepared to do away with his partner in crime. Ultimately, he now, as my... Am I right?
We've used up all the Is this the end of the rope?
Oh no. Paimon can't think of anything on...
See, I believe this is indeed... Now then, my...
Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
Miss, I must ask you not to shout, and to respect the ongoing legal proceedings.
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate and see a little magic? I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes. Please, do the honors, Mr. Linny, if you would be so kind.
What in the world is...
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth, but once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most Come on, Linny and Lynette. Give it another go. Don't worry. Spina di Rasula has made the necessary arrangements on your behalf. But, as the magic makers and stars of the show, I think I should leave the final
I understand.
And voila!
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me. And then before I knew it, she caught me.
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowl.
What? Why? Hi!
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt. I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. And I'd never been caught before. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Linny was the one who—
Hey! No wonder you look familiar. Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was on to me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box. There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
But I swear, I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear, had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
This time, we need to tell the entire story from Lily-Ann's perspective. The strange sound. The flower vase was not. Lily-Ann was afraid.
And it's Ace Detect! Having been selected, her panic only intensified. Hearing the commotion, he did not know that Lily-Ann would mistakenly believe the two broke with no way of escaping.
She knew! She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she's—
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel—
Ah, so that—
Bravo!
Now then, Lady Farina, do you wish to speak against the defense's statement? Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
What, are you reading my mind now? No, I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Wow! Look at that! She's like a deflated balloon now!
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of it. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box, and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lily-Ann was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lily-Ann. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and Lily-Ann, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera. As for Linny, He was in the underground structures within the Opera House, and was thus from this reconstruction of— While there is much in Linny and Lilianne's conduct that should still be investigated separately, this case at least can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision. As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Great work,
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's baggage?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a discovery, but false evidence that you dare to bring before this court?
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes? I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
I was just following order. We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do—
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability. Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know, and seek the protection of the guard.
Yes! Our boss discovered that the water can cause it can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration. We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent mora off it.
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness.
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
So, we're just going back now? That's...
Traveler, Paimon! Please wait.
Linny...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. But still. Let me thank you again for— I guess I didn't approach you with— As for what— That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back—
The Knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
That's right. And since we're here, I was wondering— Back when our parents survived, I took to my surprise, before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished—
So you went from—
That was how but he would constantly take me to—
That doesn't seem...
It took— After I waited the answer he gave me was— She caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a—
Oh no.
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care. I managed to ferret out the location of them. All I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood. And the Knave.
So, she'd already
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm. Father, the Knave, might have seen something in me, and the House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. I was hesitant, but she was all—
Oh, so that's how the...
She has gained—
So...
That's right. Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some— Everyone at Hotel Bouffe d'été, including the Knave, has their roots in Fontaine. To us orphans—
So... From small deeds like distributing magic pot—
It's all right. I just hope you could— If you should need anything at all in the future—
Bye, Linny!
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navi?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial disappearances case, though. Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for— And given that there's new evidence from the trial,
Ah, I see. Well, I'm sorry. I might have been too presumptuous.
Don't say that now.
And we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new waters flowing into... Wait, should we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time as partners?
Huh? Do we really need to get that formal?
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important... Anyway, it would just be a meet...
You don't have to...
Oh, wonderful.